Welcome back to the summit. I am so happy to welcome Johanna Godinez Nash to the summit. Considered by many to be their personal assistant for life, Johanna Godinez is a businesswoman by education, a yoga lifestyle educator by passion, and a coach and speaker by trade. As a human success development coach, owner of Beyond Asana Yoga, an international yoga school, and MBA, Johanna aims to support you in elevating any area in your life to make your ultimate vision come to reality. So welcome to the summit, Johanna.
Thank you so much. So excited to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. Such a joy to have you. And so, as you know, we're talking about this idea of unique identity. So tell us, what does the idea of unique identity mean to you?
Oh, I love this question because as a business owner, it's really, really important that we take our uniqueness and our passion and kind of build around it what we want to do with our business, especially when you have something that you consider, of course, unique, something that nobody else has, something that you can bring to the table. As an MBA, I started in the business world and quickly realized that that wasn't aligned with my passion. Like sitting in an office in front of the computer was grand, not for me.
I can't even imagine that.
No, I love people. I love being around people. I love people's energies. And I've always felt like together we're stronger. So I've always loved collaborating with people and being able to do things to make everyone grow and be more successful. And I think that that's part of what being unique is means to me. The fact that I can bring all of these different aspects that I do together and offer opportunities for people to see things from a lot of different points of views, which is kind of cool.
I love that. And one thing that I really love about you is that you have all these facets to what you do. And so while yoga is kind of like the centerpiece, there's all these other things that revolve around it. So talk to us about how you kind of tapped into those pieces of your identity as a business owner.
Definitely. Well, first of all, yoga has been something that when it was introduced to me 16 years ago, it was kind of my escape from the world. And it wasn't until my yoga teacher, David Kyle, at the time said to me that I was being a hoarder for not sharing this thing that I loved, that everything got put into perspective for me, because I was like, mother, how am I not sharing this one thing that is so impactful to me and that makes my life so much better? So basically, since 2011, I've been sort of finding ways to bring yoga into everything that I do and to help people understand that they can do so as well. Because yoga, as it was practiced 5,000 years ago, had nothing to do with being flexible. It had nothing to do with being able to stand on your hands. It had nothing to do with any of that. And the philosophy of yoga, which is yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of your mind, and yoga should be steady and strong at the same time. You can live your whole life with that philosophy, not ever being and actually practicing yoga on your mat.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so that's how I kind of brought it into the business. It's how can I be more mindful? How can I let my mind be less reactive in order to make better decisions, right? So a lot of the different things that you learn from the philosophy of yoga are things that will make you just a better person overall. And if you're a better person, then you're a better business owner. It's just kind of like goes with it. And then of course, just knowing that everything can be connected in some way. I mean, so I have a yoga school. I run a racing program and I teach people how to drive race cars. Like, how would you put those two together? Well, when someone has a problem on the pit, the first thing that they do is you need to go sit down and align your chakras. Like, what race team do you hear talking like that? Like, it's amazing. You shift everything around you and you make people start looking at things from different points of view. So it's cool to be able to connect everything and make it sort of influence each other in a way that makes everything around you more positive, right? Because that's the point of yoga.
Which is an incredible tool to have as a business owner, because you're obviously dealing with people all the time. I mean, that's really what business is. It's how are we serving our customers or our client base? And so talk to us a little more about the tools and resources that you really recommend. And obviously yoga is one of them. So go into that a little bit for us? Just, maybe if we're new to this idea, to help us understand better what that really means and what that looks like.
Yeah, well, definitely. I'll first say that in order for us to take care of our customers, we need to take care of ourselves. Okay, just remember that it's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's not ever selfish to take care of yourself. So resources, definitely, obviously yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga. You can read the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And in the Yoga Sutras, it talks about the 8 limbs. And the 8 limbs, basically the first 4 help you understand how to live this physical life in a better manner. The last 4 help you, well, the next 3, that's why I said 7. So the next 3 is meditate, basically withdrawing your senses, learning how to focus, and then learning how to meditate. And the end of that is samadhi, right? The 8th limb, which is union. So yoga takes you from only considering yourself as an individual to considering yourself a part of the whole, which then puts everything into a bit of perspective. Because then you stop doing things just for you and you start doing things with the intention of how is what I'm doing affecting everything around me. And that's the shift that happens with yoga, that like it's such an amazing tool. Understanding your mind would be the second one. And a great book for that is Ernst Holmes' Science of Mind. It's an older book,
That one, yeah.
but it's amazing.
Yes.
And it's a long read.
Yes.
And not long just because it's a big, thick book, but because it's heavy information. So you have to take it in short chunks. So it takes like maybe a year to read if you like actually want to like understand it all.
Right.
What else? Anything from like Ram Dass or Eckhart Tolle, anyone that speaks to you about consciousness, Vincent Lakiani, from Mind Valley. It's really important for us to put ourselves into the perspective of we are more than just this body. Mm-hmm. We take care of this body so that we can get through this life with less suffering, so that our soul can live out its purpose. Whether you believe that or not, that's fine. Maybe you don't, but then you still want to live a happier existence with less suffering. So then it's still same thing, right? Nobody wants to come here to suffer. So the more you understand your mind, your reactions, and just existence altogether, the less attached you become to anything that's actually happening, which makes your life really cool, because then things don't happen to you, they happen through you. People aren't doing things to you, they're doing it because they're hurting and they're reflecting themselves on you. And you just start shifting your perspective. And I think that any resource that teaches you how to be a more centered and more mindful human is a good resource, and it will help you in every facet of your life, in your business and your personal life, also helping you find that balance between the two, because often as business owners we lack that balance. I can tell you right now I lack a little bit. I'm working a lot right now, but it's
well, yeah, it is. It's challenging. And I love that last point though, because I think now more than ever, we're kind of in this time in this space where when we're connecting with people in positive ways, it has such a huge impact. I mean, the ripple effect from that is so important, maybe more important than it's ever been. Not that it hasn't been really important in the past, but now we sort of have this opportunity almost as business owners to serve our clients in that way, just by allowing for them to kind of have the space to be who they are, and to approach them in that space, and not expect something different, but just here's what I have to offer you, here's how I can serve you, and then let them move around that as they need to. So I think that's just really, really valuable.
Yeah, I definitely think that's, the universe has given me all of these things and has given me a way to put them together. Like when people ask me what my niche market is, like as a business owner, I have done 3 businesses with 3 different markets. Like I can't tell you that I have one niche market, because the main thing that I look for is, what is your language? How do you speak and how do you listen? How do I communicate with you? Do I communicate with you in a woo-woo manner, or do I need to bring out the MBA and tell you how things are in a more
Right.
financial black and white kind of way? And the cool thing about that is that once you have these tools, you can bring out things in people that they don't know they have. Like I was hired by someone who wanted to understand yoga and incorporate it at a deeper level. Through our training, we found out that his passion has always been forming a 501c3 for helping youth, helping mostly teenagers getting out of high school who have been gypped by the system because they're underprivileged and they don't have the ability to keep going,
Right.
plucking them out and giving them the ability and not having them have to pay for it. And we started a nonprofit. Like, who would have thought that from a yoga thing? And like we started a nonprofit. Like, how friggin' cool is that? You know, because you can have certain conversations and see things from these different perspectives that give you this idea that life is what you make it. Exactly what you make it. Whether you believe that or not is how intentionally are you creating your life. If you don't believe that, you're just along for the ride.
Right.
If you believe that, then you're manifesting your life and you're intentionally putting things out there. Whether you are doing it on purpose or not, it's still happening based on you. Like your lack of knowledge about it doesn't negate the effect.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of all of it.
Well, and I think that's a really great point, because I think for a lot of people, this might be sort of a new concept. You know, we're not really taught a lot of these things. And we're taught, if you go to school and you learn the, you know, techniques and the skills and the logistics of how you're supposed to do all of these things, then you'll be successful. And that's not really always the case. Sure, all those things are really helpful. But if you don't have some of these other pieces in place, then you may not actually build what you want to build. And
well, you have to put into perspective how the education system was created and how long ago it was created. Sure. The education system was never created for you to be creative and go out and start your own business. It was created to create robots, mice, like little ants that did everything that they were told.
On the wheel. Yes.
Right. Let me just do this, right?
Running.
to make money for other people in the Industrial Revolution era. Well, this is definitely not that era. And right now, you working for somebody else may not be a good idea for you. But if you weren't giving the tools to understand how to manifest and understand how to organize your time and understand how to get creative and understand how to use other people's resources, then how are you meant to go out there and do all this? Like during COVID, I saw so many people like, I have an idea, I don't know what to do with it, but I lost my job, so I have a lot of time. And I'd be like, dude, I put this program together. Here you go. I'm even going to give it to you for free. I don't even care. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you start a new business. Like I put it together just because I knew what to do. They just didn't know what to do. So if I give you the step-by-step, now you know what to do. So thinking out, understanding consciousness and understanding the reality of life isn't really what the system needs in order to continue. Because if we realize that we don't need to be buying all this crap, we don't need to be the way that the world is the way it is because we decided that it's okay that it is that way. The second that you step out of that and you decide that it's not, then everything starts to look a little bit different. And right now what we're doing is we're equipping people with the tools that we need, that they need, that everybody needs, in order to be able to, in this era, understand who they are and what their power is, and know that none of this crap that is happening can change them and can change their light and can change their abilities. It's just how you're looking at the situation. Is it a problem or is it an opportunity? If it's a problem, that's that. If it's an opportunity, even if you can't see how, you won't stop until you find the solutions and you find the way that it is an opportunity. And make it a game. Like, don't be so serious and so invested in it.
Make it fun.
Yes. Yeah. And if you fail, cool. That wasn't supposed to be it. And if it works, then awesome. Exactly. You gave yourself another chance at life. You know, it's just,
Well, and I love that whole idea, because I think it's so easy for us to get stuck in old ways of doing things or old ways of thinking about things. And for instance, kind of this idea of, I've got to go out and make all the money and get all the things, right? And I was listening to someone yesterday, they were saying, would you rather have $1 billion or would you rather have peace in your heart? And it's kind of like, okay, maybe we don't have to choose between the two, but if you did, would you rather have the peace, And so I think it's very interesting for us to kind of step back and really evaluate what it is we really want. And
and know that you can have peace in your heart and then make the $1 billion with peace in your heart.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just it. But the knowing of what is most important to us and why, right, is really what it comes down to. And I think that's what you're talking about, is this is a process you can use to help yourself start to get clear on what is it that, I've been told I should want, or that I think I should want, or, what have you, and what is it that I really want?
Absolutely. Because money is a beautiful tool. It's what allows me to be able to talk to you and not be like, oh my God, I'm not getting paid for this hour of my time. Like it's freedom, and it's a tool. Like I can't serve as many people as I do if I don't have the funds that I have. Like when I go on with the FI and we go to prison, like it costs me a lot of money to go fly there, pay to volunteer, and then fly back. But I know that what I did for those people will last them a lifetime, and it's worth like everything. Yeah. Because some of those people have been in jail for 15 years and not one person has ever come to see them.
Right.
So me going there once every couple of years to help them hash out a business plan that they may never be able to put to play because they're probably there for the rest of their lives,
right,
means more to them than anything that could happen out here in our world.
Sure. Yeah.
And when you can see what really matters, like this is the thing, you die tomorrow and everything you worked so hard for. I don't have kids. Who am I leaving this huge legacy for? Like that's not my interest. My interest is who can I help right now? Right now, not this legacy that I'm gonna leave in the future. Yes, I have plans for the future, but today is the only thing that I'm promised right now, this moment. This is it. 5 minutes from now, I don't know. I could just right here. Yeah. So it's so important to keep that into perspective. You're not always going to have time. It won't always come in the future. If there's something in your heart that you feel that you need to incorporate into your life in some way or another, the time is right now. Yesterday. Actually, it was yesterday the time. You're late. Because it's the only way that we can truly show up as the people that we want to show up. And be happy, man. Be happy and not worry about what other people think, not need anybody else's validation. That is your power. And every time that you need validation or every time that you react to something, you're giving away your power to somebody else. So everything that we really focus on is teaching you how yoga can be used to understand your state of life overall, so that you can become a better business owner, a better person, a better parent, a better family member, a better mental companion to yourself more than anything, because no one is with you more than you.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just using tools that have been around for thousands of years. Like no one's making anything up. We're just putting it together in a way that people can understand it, that yoga isn't something you just do on your mat. It's called Beyond Asana Yoga because we take yoga beyond the mat and we help you understand how to incorporate like all of the aspects of yoga into everything that you do in your life, which is awesome.
Love it. Well, you've given us just a wealth of information to think about and to kind of sort through. I mean, we've got tons and tons of resources we can look for now, a million gold nuggets. And so tell people how they can connect with you.
You can always call me, 815-501-5070, or text me. If I don't answer, leave a message. I don't usually answer if I don't know the number, or text me and let me know you're calling me. lifeandstylecoaches.com, beyondasanayoga.com. And you can find me, Johanna Godinez Nash, on social media, and at Life and Style Coaches on Instagram. And yeah, love to talk to you. This is what I do. Just help people get a little bit inspired to live a happier life.
Wonderful. Thank you again for being with us today, Johanna. It's been such a joy and blessing as always. And I look forward to doing this again with you soon.
Absolutely. Hope it's sooner than later. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye, everyone.